Okay, Vergil, book 6 of the Aeneid. At this point in the Aeneid, line 295, Aeneas has landed in Italy. He is at Cumae. He has visited the Sibyl, who tells him that he needs to do two things before he can descend to the underworld. First, he needs to bury his companion Maecenas. Then, not Maecenas, Maecenas. And he hasn't even realized that he has died, I think. And he has to fetch a special symbol that will let him enter the underworld and come back out again. And that is the golden bough, which is sacred to Persephone. So as he finds Maecenas' body, and as they are felling trees to build his funeral pyre, he spies two birds who light upon this golden bough, and very famously the Sibyl says, "It will come off easily if you are destined to take it, and if you are not, there is no way that you can take it off of the tree, whether you hack it off or tug it off or whatever." And as he pulls it, the poet Vergil describes the bough as cunctantem. He rips it off as it hesitates on the bough. Very interesting choice of words there. So now he has buried Maecenas. He has the bough. They are approaching the underworld, that is Aeneas and the Sibyl, and they find themselves at the entrance to the underworld. Henc via Tartarei quae fert Acherontis ad undas. Hence is, you have to understand est or something, is the road which bears or leads to the waters of Tartarei, agrees with Acherontis. Acherontis is the noun, genitive, singular. Acheron, it is a river in the underworld. Tartarus is like the deepest part of the underworld where everything sucks. This is the adjectival form of that noun. The Tartarian Acheron is what it says technically. So, or the Acheron, the river of Tartarus. Okay, so the whole thing goes, hence, or from there is the road which leads to the waves of Tartarian Acheron, the river of the underworld. Turbidus hic kaino vastaque voragine gurges aestuat. Gurges is the noun. Turbidus agrees with gurges. So there's a little bit of a chiasmus here. A whirlpool here, swollen with mud and with a vast other word for whirlpool, flowing waters or something like that, boils or roils or rushes. At quam nem cociteructatarenam. This whole line is tough. Aestuat at quam nem cociteructatarenam. Ructatarenam, am I doing that right? One more time. Aestuat at quam nem cociteructatarenam. It's coquito. They're all long. Okay, so it is dactyl spondy at the end. The river, the whirlpool, boils and vomits forth all of its sand from the Cocytus, which is another underworld river. Portitor has horrendas aquas et flumina servat. Great sound to that line, kind of rhymey, which is not usual for Latin poetry. The ferryman, horrible, the ferryman to be shuddered at, preserves, guards these waters and streams. Terribili squalore caron. Charon, that's his name. That is nominative in apposition with portitor, the ferryman Charon. Terribili squalore, ablative. Terribili, also ablative. Of description, the ferryman, a man of terrible squalor. Qui plurima mento canities inculta jacet. From the chin to whom? So mentum is chin. That's an ablative of separation, I guess. Yeah, no, on. Ablative of things on your chin. Place where, I guess. Cui, dative of the possessor. On whose chin? Does that make sense? On the chin to whom? There lies. Plurima, lots of canities, white hair, inculta, uncultivated, that's like uncombed, unkempt. So he's got like a big matted white beard, like if Santa Claus were gross. Stant lumina flamma, his eyes stand with flame, that's ablative. Lumina, neuter, plural, nominative. His eyes stand. What does it mean for eyes to stand? Stand out, bug out, peer, something like that, with flame. Sordidus ex humeris nodo dependet amictus. Filthy garments, a filthy garment. Again, adjective and noun at either end of the line. Hangs by a knot from his shoulders. Ipse ratem conto subigit velisque ministrat. He himself drives the raft with a pole and attends the sails, operates the sails. Et ferruginea subvectat corpora cumba. Ferruginea, that's ablative. And cumba is also ablative. Corpora, accusative, plural. And he himself conveys bodies on the, what does that mean? Gross craft. Dusky or something like that. Craft. Jam senior. Again, senior is also agreeing with portitor. This is all one long sentence with one subject. And lots of adjectives and other things modifying it. Portitor, caron, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, here we go. This is a new sentence. Ipse. He himself does those things. Jam senior, already quite old. That's a comparative, but I don't think you want to take the comparative literally. Already quite old, but senectus, nominative, singular, feminine, senectus, senectutis, his age, his old age, and you have to understand est, is crude, that is raw and green. So those are both kind of adjectives to describe something that is young. It's raw and green. But his old age is raw and green for a god. So he's young in terms of being a god, but he looks like a gross old man.